Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is Burgandy Bets. We gamble on football and we cash tickets. Went 5-4 last week on official picks, which brings my season total to 71, 54, and 1. Once again, official picks are in the description of the video. Go ahead, check those out. They will be updated throughout the week. My guest last week, Dan Lavin, went 2-3 on his picks. Going to try to get him on next week. He's great for the show, brings so much insight, and I think we have a good 1-2 punch together. Now, we have this Week 10 slate to attack. I don't know too many people in the community or the industry that had a good week last week with Week 9. So many upsets, so many things we didn't see coming. However, we have this offering of Week 10. Let's get into it. Let's cap these games, see how we're going to make our money this week. First game on the slate, tonight's game, Thursday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens travel to Miami to play the Dolphins. This line opened up Baltimore laying 6.5 on the road, has now gone up to Baltimore minus 7.5. Majority of the cash and tickets are on the Ravens. Now, going into this game, if you've been watching this channel, if you've been following, we have been cashing Mike Gesicki props week in and week out over and over. However, once again, the jig is up, the news is out, they've finally found us. For the first time all year, Mike Gesicki props opened up over 50. In fact, it was over-under was 55.5 yards. We're not going to be able to play that this week, so now we go over to Baltimore. We were looking at the Hollywood Brown props, right around 61, 62.5 yards on which books you're looking at. Going into this, we look at the weather. This is supposed to be thunderstorm conditions down there in Miami. Should be some sloppy football, similar to that rain game we saw a couple weeks ago. With Xavier Howard and Byron Jones on the outside covering these wide receivers, they are two elite corners. I couldn't get there with the Hollywood Brown props. The only line that stood out to me in this game, we're going to go with Lamar Jackson over 62.5 rushing yards. Once again, with those corners on the outside, I'm not sure these wide receivers will be able to get the separation in the rain. If these conditions hold up, I feel like Lamar will be taking off a lot in this game. Lamar Jackson over 62.5 rushing yards, official play. Moving on, we have the Detroit Lions traveling to Pittsburgh. 1 o'clock game starting. This line opened up Pittsburgh minus 9.5. Almost everywhere has since gone down to Pittsburgh minus 8. Cash and ticket split on this game. No real strong lean here. Detroit continues to look terrible. They're playing hard for this coach. They're doing things like burying the game film. You know, MCDC has these guys out there running around. The effort's there. Just the talent level hasn't culminated to a win yet. They have covered a few spreads. On the Pittsburgh side of things, we saw Pittsburgh almost get backdoored against the Chicago Bears. The Bears had no business being in that game, but the Steelers could not put their throat on their neck and end the game. Ended up winning a 2-point contest, not covering. Detroit has the worst pass defense in the league. I believe they're allowing 13 yards per reception, which is dead last in the NFL. However, on the Pittsburgh side of things, Big Ben cannot push the ball down the field. I don't know if they're going to be able to exploit that. The Najee Harris props, I believe, are the only way to look at this game. I'm not mad at you if you want to lay the 8 with Pittsburgh. I just can't get there yet at this point in the week. Once again, we are recording this on a Thursday. Things could change. No official plays on this yet. Lean would be Pittsburgh minus the 8, and we're going to be looking at the Najee Harris props. Moving on, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Indianapolis to play the Colts. This is a divisional matchup. We have Indy laying 10.5 on the road, at home, has since gone down to Indy minus 10. Majority of the cash and tickets all over Indianapolis. Now, Indianapolis did look good last week, came out, got a win, almost let the Jets backdoor that game, which is worrying in a game against a divisional opponent like Jacksonville, coming off a season-defining win, defeating the Buffalo Bills at home in Jacksonville. This line is exactly the same as it was against the Jets. You're getting 10s, 10.5s on the board. A lot of people are going to be looking at the Jonathan Taylor rushing props over in this game. Just keep in mind, I was shocked when I saw this too because I was going to look at those props as well. Believe it or not, the Jacksonville Jaguars have the number 2 rush defense in the National Football League when it comes to yards per carry, allowing 3.8 yards per carry. I don't like to look at yards per game allowed or season total yards allowed. I like to look at the yards per carry. How many attempts they're giving up, how many yards they're giving up per attempt. So just look out there if you are looking to smash these JT props this week. Just know that this Jacksonville team is number 2 in yards per carry on defense. As far as the offense, they don't look good. Still not Trevor Lawrence. just not there yet. The guy's probably going to have a great future. He's not having too much help around him either. No strong lean on this game with an over-under of 47.5 points. I believe this could be a low-scoring affair. If I had a free play on this, I would take the under 47.5. No plays just yet. Moving on, we have the Cleveland Browns traveling to the New England Patriots. This line opened up Cleveland basically +2 in a lot of spots. It's kind of right around that same area right now. We did see this line drop back to almost a pick 'em at one point, but now money coming in on the Patriots once again. The Browns, without OBJ, they were efficient. The defense played great. I mean, the pick 6 by Denzel Ward on the Jamar Chase look, Joey Burrow out there, he was making plays, but this Cleveland team looks very good right now. However, they are going to be traveling to New England. Now, this team is rallying around Baker Mayfield. Obviously, they like him in the locker room. They're coming out to playing for him, showing for him. Aside on the New England side of things, they have put up some heavy, blowout wins, but those are against the Jets on the majority of those games and just teams that aren't stacking up. They did go in and wax the Panthers. The line that stood out to me in this game was the under. This is an official play. It will be in the description. I got the under 45.5. It's since gone down. There's a 45 out there. I still think that's fine. I endorse that play. This is going to be two teams that want to run the ball and play good defense. They're going to be running the ball. They're going to be taking time off the clock. I can easily see this being a 23-17 game, 23-20 game, and even if we get to a 24-20 game, we're covering that. I love this under spot. I already have it locked in. I have it in a parlay as well. Official play, under 45.5. Once again, I endorse the 45. Moving on, we have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to the Dallas Cowboys and one of the highest totals of the week. This line is sitting right around 54.5, 55 points on which books you're looking at. That is the biggest line of the week. The Atlanta Falcons coming off that win against the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. A lot of people didn't see that coming. I stayed off that game. We have Calvin Ridley still not on the team. I believe as soon as he could come back would be the week after next week. As far as Dallas, I mean, Jesus, how many parlays and teasers did they kill last week? Denver went in there and just spanked them, and Dallas was coming off a bye week. You would have thought they would have been prepared, but we should have known better. Mike McCarthy coaching this team. This guy's an ass clown, but we do expect the players to rebound. Something that is noteworthy here is these Dallas players might be playing through a lot of injuries. We see Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, guys on the offensive line and defensive line on the injury report, not really playing up to snuff to where we're used to seeing this Dallas team play through the first half of the season. Line opened up 9, has since gone down to -8 now. You have a majority of the tickets on Atlanta with the points, however, majority of the cash on Dallas. Very interesting, 90% of the cash on the over in this game. The lines that stuck out to me here, the props drop this morning was the Cordell Paterson props. Once again, if you've been watching this channel, similar to the Gasecki props, we have been smashing that Cordell Paterson prop week after week after week. Opened up here, rushing over 40, receiving over 40. I went in and dove in. Dallas giving up 3.8 yards per carry on the ground. Cordell Paterson usually getting somewhere around his uptick on attempts for rushing the ball has gone up somewhere around 9. If he hits the 9 again, and he hits that 4 yards carry arc, we're not going to hit it. But what we are going to hit is the receiving over. Official play will be Cordell Paterson over the 40.5 receiving yards. If you guys are watching this now, I suggest you get in on it now. I see that line only climbing and getting higher throughout the week. That's really the only spot I can go on this game. As far as a side, if I had to pick, I would lay the points with Dallas. I think if this team gets back to what they were, let's get Dak a full week of practice, get the timing back with these receivers. Let's get back to, putting up the over 30 points a game we've come accustomed to seeing with this Dallas team. Official play, Cordell Paterson over 40.5 receiving yards. Moving on, we have probably the trap game of the week. It will be the New Orleans Saints traveling to Tennessee to play the Titans. This line opened up Titans -2.5 at home, has since gone up to Titans -3 at home. I see a lot of love for New Orleans for cappers in the game and in the industry, and I get it. A lot of people like New Orleans as a dog, do not like them as a favorite. Interesting note here in this game, Alvin Kamara, injured, banged up. Saints have been working out running backs this week. Haven't signed any to the best of my knowledge yet as recording this. We don't know if he's going to be a go in this game. We don't know if Trevor Siemian's going to be a go in this game. This might be a Taysom Hill start and run through for the New Orleans Saints. Michael Thomas, we know, will not be coming back to this team. The Cavalry's not coming over the hill for New Orleans. Whatever they have now is what they have and what they will go through the season with. Now, we have seen this defense play excellent and carry this team, and I believe that's going to have to happen again this week and throughout the season if they're going to make a push. Still sitting at a good record. I believe they're one game back in the NFC South. As far as the Tennessee Titans go with things, no Derrick Henry, no problem. Hey, go in there, smash the Los Angeles Rams in LA. I know so many people that just took a bath on that game, chasing from the 1 o'clock games, the 4 o'clock games. Like we said, last week, terrible week for guys like us, capping these games, the community, the industry. A lot of people banking on the Rams to come through for a lot of teams there. They did not. I particularly stayed off that game. But this Titans team, I mean, wow, just so impressive. Beat the Rams in a lead, beat the Kansas City Chiefs, beat the Buffalo Bills. I mean, some of the best top 5 teams in the league. A lot of people have in their power rankings. Tennessee is going in there and just smashing. Will they do it again this week at home? It's possible. A.J. Brown, not sure if he's going to suit up for this game. We do have the Julio Jones props out right now, sitting at 53.5 yards. I was on the Julio Jones over 47.5 last week. Did not get there. Ended up with 4 for 35. Very disappointing in a game where they scored 30 points and were moving the ball up and down the field. We did see Adrian Peterson get into the end zone, which was nice. I am an AP fan from back in my younger days. As far as an official play for this, I don't have one. The total of 44.5 is interesting. I could see this being a low-scoring game. Once again, that New Orleans defense is very stout. If it wasn't for Cordell Paterson just shitting on the corners in that game, the Saints would have won that game. I believe Cordell finished with 1 for 6 receptions, 126 yards. The man's just a monster out there, having a real, growth in the back half of his career. But that's not here nor there. No strong lean on this game. If Alvin Kamara plays and he suits up and he's starting in his injury and he's ready to go, lean would be the Saints plus the 3 on the road. Moving on, another divisional matchup. We have the Buffalo Bills traveling to New York to play the Jets. Majority of the cash and tickets are on the Buffalo Bills. Surprising after we have seen the New York Jets play better with a Mike White in the game. Mike White should be starting up for this game. Magic Mike in New York, where he got his first win of the season and career for him. We have the Buffalo Bills giving up 13 is what it opened up. Has since gone down to Buffalo minus 11 on a lot of books. Over under 47.5 yards here. Can you back Buffalo? That's the question. Can we back Buffalo right now? I mean, this team, they did cover against Miami 2 weeks before, but it was 3-3 going into halftime. Buffalo, a team that covered every first quarter spread through the first 7 weeks, has just fell off. I mean, they're not starting out hot. They're not getting anywhere. The protection for Buffalo was god-awful. Josh Allen was running for his life, and if you had red zone, all you heard all goddamn day was Scott Hansen say, Josh Allen, Josh Allen, Josh Allen. If you started a drinking game for every time Scott Hansen said Josh Allen, you would have been ash drunk by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was very annoying. Here nor there, 13 points spread in this game. Free play. I would take the Jets plus the 11 right now. It is. I just don't have the faith in Buffalo right now. And we have seen these double-digit, this is the NFL, guys. We've seen these double-digit spreads backfire. I mean, not a lot of these teams are covering now, especially in the latter half of the season. Now, we are, getting up. Most of these teams have played 8 or 9 games now. We are heading into week 10 at this point. Guys aren't as healthy as they were before. Some teams are getting guys back from injury. I'm going to stay as far away possible on this game, but if you did want to play, nothing official, I'd lean the Jets plus the points at home. Moving on, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Washington to play the football team. We can remember this is a matchup of the wild card round last year in the playoffs. Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off that loss to the Saints, just had their bye week. You think they're going to get things together here. Now, protection could be an issue with this front seven of the Washington football team. We know one thing about Brady. If you get to him, you could rattle him. However, this at 9.5, my lean would be Tampa Bay. However, that's not where I'm going for official picks in this game. We will be on the Antonio Brown receiving props. If he's suited up, starting and ready to go in this game, he was dealing with an injury. These books open up these Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver props, all three of them, whether you're looking at a Chris Godwin, a Mike Evans, and Antonio Brown, it's consistently all three of them are dropped in the 60s, 65s, and then they let the market move dictate where they're going to go higher or lower. Antonio Brown, when he's on the field for this team, seems to be the number one guy. I mean, the target share is in his favor. The rapport with Brady, obviously, we know is great. The other look in this game would be Leonard Fournette over rushing and receiving. You can even just go receiving receptions. Very heavily involved in the passing game. They'll run these 5-yard slant ins for Leonard Fournette. And, this guy could have, ending up this game with 7 receptions added to his rushing total. Tickets and majority of the cash, obviously, on Tampa Bay here. One of the higher totals, 51.5. A look for the Washington football team if you wanted to, chase some plays on their side with a higher total in this game. Logan Thomas is supposed to be back in this game. If he's not, Ricky Seals-Jones has filled in very nice for this team. Tampa Bay is one of the worst teams in the National Football League at guarding the tight end. I would be looking at a Logan Thomas or a Ricky Seals-Jones receptions receiving over prop. I believe Ricky Seals-Jones has played 99% of the snap share since Logan Thomas went down. He should be back in this game, but you could see Washington formulate a dual tight end set with both these guys on the field. When you take out a Terry McLaurin, this team really doesn't have that much to go off of. We know Antonio Gibson is still nursing that ankle injury. He's going to play through it the rest of the year, but the guy's got a fractured split bone in his ankle that he's just going to be running through. On top of that, Tampa Bay, one of the more stout defenses in the league. If you blindly played the running back under props for every team Tampa Bay has gone against, you would be up drastically. So another look, we're going to see where the Antonio Brown under rushing prop, Antonio Gibson under rushing props look for this game. If it's anywhere around 40, we're going to go ahead and hit that under spot. Moving on, we have the Carolina Panthers traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals in one of the biggest spreads of the week. Carolina catching 10.5 on the road here. Majority of the cash on Arizona and basically 53% of the tickets on Carolina. Pretty split here. Majority of the cash on the Cardinals. Over under at 44 points here. Doesn't seem like a lot of points if you're going to have a Kyler Murray back, a DeAndre Hopkins back. We don't know. We know James Conner just went off. He's going to have probably an increased workload share here with Chase Edmonds looking like he'll be out 3 weeks with that injury he suffered against the San Francisco 49ers. Biggest thing in this game for me with Carolina against New England last week was Christian McCaffrey coming back to the Panthers. Now, Christian McCaffrey rushing props opened up 48 yards, I believe, and his receiving props were at 28 yards. I stayed off of it. As soon as it opened, the books didn't open this until about a couple hours before kickoff. I think it was like an hour or two before kickoff because of the uncertainty around Christian McCaffrey playing in this game. However, Christian McCaffrey smashed both of those props, and that's a mistake I will not make again here. The Arizona Cardinals have the second worst rush defense in the league, just behind the Los Angeles Chargers. I believe the Arizona Cardinals are giving up 4.8 yards per carry. Now, it doesn't matter if Sam Darnold can't throw the ball. If you're giving up 4.8 yards per carry and you got CMC back there running the rock, you're going to move the ball. You're going to extend drives. I will be on the Christian McCaffrey rushing and receiving props. Hopefully, there's not too much of an overcorrection. They did say they were going to work CMC back into the offense. I believe he had 14 totes on the ground. If we get, a 20 rush day from Christian McCaffrey and, maybe 5 touches through the air, a vintage Christian McCaffrey day, he's going to smash his props, and he could keep Carolina in this game. Along, if their defense can get any pressure on Kyler, you're going to have to worry about Kyler running. He is nursing that injury. We don't know how much he's going to want to take off in this game. No official plays on the sides or totals. Once again, Christian McCaffrey props, look out. Check the description of the video. I will be updating those throughout the week. Moving on, we have the Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers, worst rush defense in the league. We were on the Chargers to cover against Philadelphia last week, and they did on that last-second field goal. Couple things that worry you about the Chargers. Obviously, the running defense. I mean, if you can't stop a team from running the football on you in the National Football Team, in the National Football League, that is very bad, okay? Your offense is not going to get on the field. When you have an offense like the Chargers game plan, this is why the Chargers are number one in the NFL on going for it on fourth down. They're going for it in their own end zone, on their own side of the field, and they're going for it on their opponent's side of the field. The Chargers gone for it the most on fourth down in the NFL, and the reason is because they're trying to establish, to get out. If the Chargers are playing a close game and it's 7-7, 7-10, the other team doesn't have to abandon the run. They can keep picking up 5 yards per carry every time. Against Philadelphia, we have, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott out there running 5 yards a clip. Absolutely ridiculous. They cashed their props. The Chargers need to get out to a lead. If the Chargers can get out to a 14-0 lead, put a pressure on an offense to throw the ball and not just run it down their throat, that's where they can succeed and move forward during the whole game plan and script. That's what they want to do as a team. As far as the Minnesota side of things, we're going to be on. I don't care if it's Dalvin Cook in this game. I don't care if it's Alexander Mattison in this game. We're going to be on whoever is the starting running back suiting up over their rushing props. We had Dalvin Cook props drop last week against the Baltimore Ravens at 72.5 yards. I was looking at that. I was like, geez, that looks a little light. Obviously, he smashed that. It doesn't matter. We will be fading the Los Angeles Chargers rush defense until further notice. Any running back that goes against them, we will be taking his over until the books catch up. It'll be interesting to see where they open this line at. I'd imagine it's going to be Dalvin somewhere around the 80 yards mark, and we would take that. Once again, if it is a Alexander Mattison, probably even better. We might get a 65-70 that we would take, but all signs support look to Dalvin Cook will be suiting up for this game. As far as a side, Minnesota plays tight games. They've been playing tight games all year long. There is real no home field advantage in SoFi Stadium. I mean, this is Los Angeles. You're going to have purple jerseys everywhere. Any team that plays the Chargers, I mean, it's LA. You're going to have your teams coming out to support. If I had to pick a side, I would lean Minnesota and the points. But I don't have to, so I'm going to take the running backs over. Total 53.5, second highest of the week, with 89% of the cash on the under, and ticket share is basically split. No real leans there. We'll keep this show moving. We have the Seattle Seahawks at the Green Bay Packers. This line opened up Green Bay -4, has gone down half a point. Obviously, all signs point to Aaron Rodgers suiting up and playing in this game, and everything points to Russell Wilson playing in this game. Now, I believe Aaron Rodgers can get cleared on Saturday, and Matt LaFleur said, hey, as long as Rodgers is cleared, he's suiting up on Sunday. As far as just capping this game, it's always tough to bet on a starting quarterback when he hasn't had a single day of practice and he's going to be thrown into the game. Then he gets cleared to play Saturday, would be thrown into the game on Sunday. But it's Aaron Rodgers. The rapport with Devontae Adams, his receivers, they are getting David Bakhtiari back, the best left tackle in the National Football League. Line would be Green Bay to lay this here. I love where Green Bay's at. Let's get Rodgers back on this. This is a championship caliber football team when he is on the field. As far as Seattle goes, the defense still worries me. Russell Wilson should be able to go out there and make big plays with a DK Metcalf, a Tyler Lockett. The running game is not existent. It will be on Russ to carry this team. Total at 49.5 points. Majority of the cash and tickets suggest over. No true leans here. Once again, official plays in the description below. Check out through the week. Check out before kickoff to catch the plays. Once again, 71, 54, and 1 on official plays this year. I don't know. That's probably 65%, something like that. Just divide the numbers, do the math. Check it out for yourself. Moving on, we have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Denver to play the Broncos. This line opened up Denver -2.5, has since gone up to Denver -3. Philly catching 3 points on the road. Majority of the cash and tickets are on the Denver Broncos. I'm sorry. Majority of the cash, though, and tickets on Philadelphia Eagles money line. Very interesting. You do not see that often. Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this team. 1 week they look great. 1 week they look like shit. Could they be turning the corner? Is the plant of Nick Sirianni with the water, the fertilizer, the manure, is it starting to grow? Are the roots branching out? We don't know. This could be a telltale sign. Going on the road against a tough Denver team. Now, this Denver team did open up 3-0 to start the season. The worry with that was their competition in the first 3 weeks was abysmal. I believe they played the Houston Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the New York Football Jets, 3 of the worst teams in the football league. After that, they went, 1-4 before they won against Dallas last week. Ran the ball excellent against Dallas. Javonte Williams, their rookie, had over 100 yards. Carried a lot of that offense. Tim Patrick showing up and showing out, beating Diggs on a lot of those routes. I don't have a true lean here in this game. The total of 45.5, I believe, is pretty accurate. This is probably, a 24-20 game. No true leans. Nothing on this game. If I had to pick, I would take Philly and the points. Sunday Night Football, we have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. This is a game where everyone who lost their 1 o'clock money, their 4 o'clock money, will be backing the Chiefs to cover a spread in prime time to get back even on the day. This game will have the most amount of tickets, the most amount of bets of the week by far. Now, Kansas City, we know, awful against the spread, cannot cover. Look terrible on the football field as well. The Green Bay Packers should have, if Aaron Rodgers was in that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Green Bay Packers would have won by 3 scores. Special teams blunders, Jordan Love just not connecting, missing open receivers. Meanwhile, the Chiefs' offense continues to look terrible. We did see Travis Kelce finally get in the end zone, but his yardage wasn't there. Travis Kelce under props continue to cash. Will it be any different against this Las Vegas Raiders team? If we go back historically, the last 2 years with Derek Carr under center, Vegas plays Kansas City very tough. I believe they split 1-1 last 2 years. Majority of the cash and tickets on Kansas City. What we worry about is Kansas City because they don't cover these big spreads. However, this is not a big spread. This is a field goal spread. Everything's being caught back up. The worlds are realigning. Water's coming back to level. You're not seeing Kansas City, even though this is a divisional matchup, you're not seeing these double-digit spreads, and I believe you will not see double-digit spreads with Kansas City moving forward unless they return back to the team that they were a year ago, 2 years ago. As far as Las Vegas Raiders, boy, did they disappoint against the New York Football Giants last week. I was on the Raiders -3. I just felt that the front 7, the front 4, the Max Crosbys, the guys they have on the defensive line would be able to get to Daniel Jones. We know Daniel Jones makes mistakes with the football, and he did with the football. And the Raiders still could not win that football game. Derek Carr threw 2 interceptions of his own. They did have a chance to tie that game up at the end. They did not. New York football team wins. Just very disappointing from the Raiders. I don't know what to expect from them moving forward. Darren Waller props might be something to go with here. I was on the Hunter Renfrow. They did cash last week. Wasn't official or anything. Should have been. I will be looking at Hunter Renfrow props again moving forward. Hopefully there's not too much of a correction in the lines. And we do know that Deshaun Jackson was claimed by the Vegas Raiders. I believe he'll be suiting up here. Not sure how much impact he will have, but he doesn't really need to learn the playbook. He doesn't need to go through, what's XZY double / blue ready on tone 2. No, they can just say, hey, Deshaun, don't worry about the play call. Just run a fucking go route, and we'll throw it up to you if you're open. So he could just see, 4 or 5 go routes, maybe 2 targets on the game. No true lean here. A higher total on the week at 52 points. I don't know if Kansas City can move the ball to score. I mean, this could be a sloppy under game. Majority of the tickets and cash on the over, but it's very small, 63% and 52% of the cash. Let's move on to the Monday Night Football game. Guys, watch out for this game. You could see reverse line movement, and if you do, get out and get out fast. We have the Los Angeles Rams traveling to San Francisco to play the 49ers in a divisional matchup. This line opened up LA Rams -4, since gone down to LA Rams -3.5. The Rams, they played their worst game of the year against the Titans. Everyone who backed them, just a sad loss, just a sad Week 9 in general, but we're putting that behind us. Week 10, let's go. San Francisco 49ers, they look terrible as well, losing to Colt McCoy, and not even only losing to Colt McCoy, no DeAndre Hopkins. They're starting running back. James Conner basically led this team with Chase Edmonds, going out with the injury in this game. It didn't matter. The Cardinals just owned the line of scrimmage. The San Francisco 49ers had no awareness of what was going on. Colt McCoy had over 200 yards passing, and I believe 75% of that was on screen passes. No awareness to see what's going on, which is weird because the front seven of San Francisco is very good. They ran that screenplay over and over and just killed the 49ers, did the Cardinals. I can't back this 49ers team. I know the Rams are the popular play. I know the tickets and the cash are all on LA, but when it comes down to it, public backing or not, sharp side or not, I'm not backing the 49ers right now. No fucking way. I love this Rams team. I love what they're all about. Let's see how far this line goes down. This could be, Sean McVay came out and said that game against the Titans was not how we play football. That's not indicative of the football team we are. I believe, it's a divisional matchup. These teams know each other. You can go back and do some research, but the 49ers do not have Rob Saleh anymore. That guy was a mastermind with this team on defense, and I think we're seeing it. They're giving up a lot of points. I mean, look what the Chicago Bears did with Justin Fields just running all over them. And now the Arizona Cardinals, now they have, the greatest show on turf, 2.0, coming in to Candlestick Park. Lean would be the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, you're going to be looking at your Cooper Kupp props. You're going to be looking at your Darrell Henderson Jr. props. As far as the San Francisco 49ers things go, I think you should be looking at the Brandon Ayuk props. Finally, he looked like he was involved in the offense against that Cardinals game last week. Excuse me. Looked like he was finally back involved in that offense again. George Kittle back. He did have a big impact. If that Ayuk line is light, that may be something we could be looking at here with a 49-point total. Crazy. Almost all the cash on the over of that total. And our ticket share at 52%. That was the entire Week 10 slate. Once again, official picks are in the description of the video. We are hitting at a good percent clip here, 71, 54, and 1 on the season. I'm going to go ahead and try to get at Dan_Lavin on next week. Great insight from him. I believe we have a good yin and yang going back and forth. A lot of people like it. He went 2-3. He's a competitor. I know he's going to want to add on to that record. Guys, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. Let's all get paid this week. Check out the description of the video. We're going to be adding picks right now. Official plays currently are Lamar Jackson over 62.5. Cordell Paterson over 40.5 receiving. Patriots, Browns under 45.5. Much more coming once these props get out here. Let's see the injury report heading into Sunday. Guys, let's all get paid. Appreciate y'all.